Welcome to the 2024 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this May 29th, 2024 Wednesday edition. As you can see, stock market continues to fall here, 400 points today. So Wall Street, they're expecting higher yields in the bond market. They're expecting the news on Friday about the inflation data that everybody's anxiously waiting. So after crossing 40,000 points, the Dow Jones was last week or the week before last. Now the S&P 500 and the major indices dipped and lost 400 points today, 1.1%. American Airlines led the slump for airline stocks. They were saying that everybody's traveling and the media had everything. Of course, the first holiday of the season, Memorial Day, but higher fuel cost is weighing in on that. It's going to impact their revenue. Sales fell 13.5% for American Airlines. Advanced Auto Parts, they sank 11%. So Wall Street is concerned here. Everybody's just hoping and, keep hope alive that there's going to be rate cuts and everything's going to be back to puffy clouds and rainbows. But we can see here that things are tightening up here in the markets. Wall Street economists expect friendly U.S. inflation data this Friday. So now everybody's like, oh, inflation is going to be going down. They're hoping it's going down here according to MarketWatch.com. So we shall see what that brings to the table here. But ladies and gentlemen, you already know that the future, regardless if inflation goes down, is never going back down to 2% or 0%. And we're never going to have a full employment again with this economy. And this is worldwide because they're transitioning into a technocratic automation economy, AI economy. And things are just never going to be the way fundamentally the way it was previous years, as you know, because global debt has grown to $315 trillion this year. Here's how we got here. This from CNBC.com. I thought that was an interesting article. We know that the world is in debt. We know the U.S. has $35 trillion of unfunded liabilities and debt, etc. And not all debt is bad. We know there's good debt too. So to keep this whole economy going here. But this is the biggest, fastest, and most widest rise since World War II, coinciding with the health crisis that we had just recently. So you can see here that, there's only a couple ways you can get out of debt. You can go into another world war. You can print up more money, some kind of austerity measure globally. You can inflate it away. You can go into a depression where it's deflationary, where there's a bunch of products that nobody wants on this side of the world, and let the other countries come up, to help balance this whole worldwide economy. So there's a couple ways you can do it, but the bottom line is it does involve a little bit of slowdown and a little bit of pain for America, and that's okay with most people, I think. But most people realize now that we're never going to be the same. It's not going back to things are not going back to normal, either financially, socially, economically, spiritually, or mentally. And so, because this is going to be a lost decade, we've seen that with countries like Japan, where they had the lost decade. United States could fall into something like that, where 10, 11 years of stagflation, no growth, just money printing. And so it's just going to be crazy how things are going to shake out here. Let me know, is a global debt crisis coming? Most people think that's coming, but I think it's going to be more so a currency crisis, a global currency crisis. People lose faith in the dollar. What else are they going to put the money in? Gold and silver? Yeah, but Bitcoin, crypto, maybe. But all of these things come down to, what do you put faith in when the dollar goes? Because everybody's based on the U.S. dollar. Even those who are getting military pensions and living abroad somewhere in some remote island or whatever, they're still based on the U.S. dollar. So if the U.S. dollar crumbles, the least sickest child in the whole, in the whole basket of goods, then that means that everybody's standard of living is going down, because that's, until even if they get a new system in place, it's going to take at least 5 to 10 years for that system to come online, whether that's all digital money or chips or whatever you want to call it. It still takes time for that system to come online and be available worldwide through all the banking and everything like that. Even though it's digital and already automated it's all being monitored. I'm just saying it takes time to just switch systems like that. So the dollar is still king. Unfortunately, if the dollar goes down, it's just going to slowly whittle away purchasing power. And that's what Alan Greenspan said years ago. And he's right, the purchasing power. So yeah, you just, they can print up money with things like that, but you just takes more dollars. It takes $30 to buy bread instead of $7 or $6 or whatever. And that's what we're going to see more and more of this year and next year, especially. And so be prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you're doing. Are you cutting down debt, consumer debt, student loan debt, credit cards? Let me know what you're doing. Are you still traveling, taking vacations this summer, or after school with the kids? Or how is that working out for everybody in the country, and not just the United States, but in Europe and in Canada, and Asia and Africa? How are we all coping with this change? It's not just the stock market. Main Street and Wall Street is disconnected, as you know, and so the stock market can go up and down. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, Is your purchasing power staying strong? Are you able to put food on the table? Are you to pay for your monthly payments on your car, your house, your lands, your oil, your stocks, your bonds? Are you able to service those payments? Is the country able to service its debt? That's the kind of thing, debt payments. That's the kind of thing that's going to matter in going forward in this latest stage in the third quarter of 2024 for the United States. So be vigilant, continue to save money, continue to prepare, continue to spend money wisely on survival items like all of us are doing, and cutting down on non-essential things in your life. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening.